Hello, this is Sarita, and I'm here to help you understand the truth about who you are. So I wanted to have a conversation with you all about receivership, because I'm beginning to really understand now that our ability to transcend our current state of awareness, to be healed, to feel whole, to be able to connect with one another, to build a new earth, and to become enlightened, not in the kind of, oh, we're all gurus sense, but what I mean by enlightened, and what I often say is, for me, enlightenment is about being able to hold more light in the cells of your body. So this thing that we're all seeking, a higher state of awareness, a higher consciousness, to understand the truth of who we are, works in direct proportion to how much we are willing to receive, or how much we can allow ourselves to receive. And what I realized the other day is that I think we've been going about this not in the wrong way, but in a slightly convoluted, difficult way, you know, within the spiritual movement. Because a lot of the things that you hear, and I'm not saying none of this isn't true, it is all true, is that basically, you know, we need to work with our energetic blocks around unworthiness, and to work out where we are attached to all of the conditions and our programming that stops us being able to receive love, you know, to work through our trauma, and to work on our mental, our emotional, our energetic, and, you know, our spiritual selves, so that we can, you know, clear all of the blocks, clear all of the trauma, work through our conditioning and our programs, so that we can understand how worthy we are, and so that we can receive more love, more abundance, more of the things that we all desire, better relationships, all of those things. And that is certainly true. But what I think is happening now is that we're coming into a, you know, as a collective species, we are coming into a higher level of awareness. And I had a really kind of peak realization this week that I wanted to share with you about receivership. And basically the realization is that receivership is much simpler than we think it is, and that we can navigate towards it using the physical, using our felt sense of who we are within our bodies as embodied beings. And I'll explain to you what I mean by this in a moment. So I think it's simpler than we've made it, or it can now become simpler than we have made it in the past. Rather, maybe perhaps we've evolved to this place where it's becoming simpler. And in fact, I have to say, the more and more I go into this work, the more I do my inner work, the more I work with other groups and people, you know, what I'm finding is that it's all becoming simpler and easier, and through that, more powerful and more extraordinary and more miraculous, you know. So simplicity seems to be showing up much more. And this path of awakening into our own enlightenment and into our own unique expression as source consciousness is becoming simpler and easier. And so what I'd like to talk about first is why do we need to be able to receive in order to become enlightened? Well, basically, it's really simple. Source consciousness, which is the void, or the void of infinite potentials, or the cosmic womb, or God, or creator consciousness, whatever you want to call it, that pool or space of infinite potential is basically love. it's love in a way that we can't quite grasp yet, because here in this third dimensional reality, you know, we have these attachments to what we think love is. This is love as in creational energy. It's a creational expression where anything that is desired can materialize and manifest into form. So it's love as creation. It is limitless. It is infinite. It has no boundaries. So you could say the creator, greater consciousness, is infinite love. Now, we are made in the image of the creator. So we are made of love, basically. And so whenever we want to receive healing, or whenever we want to become enlightened or know ourselves better, expand our consciousness, all we're doing when we do that is we are evolving into a greater understanding or learning of the truth of who we are, which is love. We're just stepping into the acknowledgement that we are love. So that if we are love, so if we are the infinite potential of creator consciousness, then we are limitless. We are infinite in our potential, and we can create anything. So everything that's out there in source consciousness is love. And as we allow ourselves to receive love, to receive the gifts of the infinite potentials that can be made manifest through our desires, we begin to embody that truth, and we begin to step into this realization that we are the creator made manifest through unique expression. And so if we want to be healed, all we have to do is be open to receive love, because love is infinite potential, and love by its very evolution is wholeness and healing and expression, and miraculous, you know, things all of the time. Basically, it's creational life force energy, which is ever making of itself through our desires, because we are creator consciousness. So the more we can receive love, the more we can have anything we want. So if let's say we're in a state of disease, which I would call separation, and we want healing, we need to be able to come from this place of separation, receive love, see who we are as creator consciousness through the receivership of that love, and then we realize we're the creators, and so we create a healed body. Or we want to manifest being in abundance, or having the perfect job, or whatever we want, whatever we desire. None of these desires are in and of themselves wrong or bad. It's not bad to desire anything. We're here to materialize our desires through the awareness that we are creator consciousness. So the more we receive love, the more we receive light frequency information of infinite potential that we are love into our bodies, the more we know ourselves, and the more we create whatever we want. So that's why it's really important to receive. So the more we receive, the more we know who we are, the more likely we are to become enlightened, self-aware, expansive, healed, and whole. Okay. And what I realized is that we've been doing this in quite a complicated way, because we've been looking at our emotions, our thoughts, you know, the feelings, the karma, the trauma, the drama, all of those things, the energy blocks, trying to heal all of that, which is all in and good of itself, but can be quite complicated. And I suddenly had this really pivotal moment this week, because I was in a really deep meditation. I was actually doing Joe Dispenza's Blessing of the Energy Centers #2, because I decided, I haven't done them for ages, and I decided was going to go through the whole set and see where I've got to. Okay, so if you know Joe Dispenza, which you probably do if you're on this channel, I'm in the meditation, and at some point we've been in the energy center, we go out into the void, which is creator consciousness, and then we're instructed to receive into the energy center. So as we're receiving into the energy center, I am feeling the energy from source consciousness that I'm receiving. And I'm feeling the energy in a very physical way. And I'm quite lucky, because I have this, I think this is my gift, is I'm able to be in a very altered state, and also to be completely here and now. and present, and if you like, logical and practical, which is why I can run a meditation class and be aware that I've got a class of people, but also be in a completely altered state at the same time. So that's my gift, which is why I guess I'm doing this channel, because I have that capacity. So I'm in this meditation and I'm out there in the void and I'm feeling all the energy coming and I'm in a completely altered state. But being me, I'm actually also very present in my body and my thoughts. And I say to myself, Sarita, because Joe Dispenza's going, feel it even more. Can't remember his words, feel it more, go deeper, whatever. And I go to Sarita, what would it be if I could feel this even more? If I could open myself up even more to the physical sensation of the energy, the energetics that are coming into my energy center. So if I could open myself in a physical way. And so something happened. I guess it's like being in an ocean and you're swimming, you know, under the water at about 2 meters, and you suddenly go, I wonder what it would be like if I could go 4 meters down. And so something happened in the meditation where I suddenly went deeper. I allowed myself to feel the physical sensations, the felt sense, energetics in my body of the energy that was coming in from the void. So what happened was I felt the physicality of the void. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. So the energy is coming in and I could feel it. And I went into a deeper level of feeling this energy coming in, the physicality of it. And then what happened was my whole body got flooded with, it felt like warm water. It just flooded my whole body all the way from my perineum up through the top of my head. Okay, my arms, everything, my whole torso got flooded with this, what felt like hot water that ran through me. And it was the most lovely sensation. So imagine that you're like freezing cold and then you get into a hot bath and you're like, oh God, this is just amazing. Now imagine that the hot bath is inside you and it washes through all of your organs and cells. I mean, it was just like yum. But the thing was, is that what I realized is that there's another route to enlightenment that we haven't really, I don't think, explored that much on this planet, or in the kind of spiritual, you know, movement, is that we haven't really explored the physicality of the energy of the void, the physicality of the energetics that are all around us. They're coming from Mother Earth, they're coming from one another, they're coming from the universe, from the cosmos. We haven't really explored the physicality of those energies because we always think of it as energy, that it's not matter yet. And it isn't matter yet, but it does have a physicality. And the thing is, as I felt into the physicality of this energy that was coming in from source consciousness, I felt the effects of that physicality within my physicality. And then the result was that I went into a deeper physical felt sense where I felt this wash of hot water, and it was a very physical sensation. And I have to tell you, it was deeply healing. Like I came out of that meditation, I was walking around for like an hour going, wow, I just feel like amazing. You know, I just felt amazing. So I felt like I'd been healed on some deeper level that I couldn't understand, you know, with my little mind. So, and I suddenly had this, you know, and while I was doing the whole meditation, because I'm in the here and now, plus being in an altered state, I was like, oh, wow, this is a whole nother route to enlightenment and healing and self-awareness and all of those good things. And it's like a whole nother level to the becoming fully embodied upon this planet business that I talk about and that other people talk about, you know, other meditation teachers and spiritual teachers. Because the fact of the matter is that we incarnated here into physical bodies to have a physical experience. And perhaps we've been going about this enlightenment business, not all the wrong way, but perhaps there's other ways that we haven't thought of, and this is one of them, is that to not just feel this physical vessel of our body, which is obviously extraordinary. It's, you know, it's like a vessel which is holding the divine. It's holding source consciousness. It's holding that energy of love. But to feel into the physicality, physicality of the energy of love. Because I think what's been happening on this planet is we've been attached or enmeshed or constrained potentially by the matrix and all of those good things and our own thoughts and, you know, just the whole kit and caboodle, ego, everything. We've been constrained with this idea that physicality is contained within the matter of our body. And yeah, that's true. But what happens, or how could it be, if there were other levels of physicality that we can't quite or haven't yet tapped into? So in other words, are there perhaps boundaries that we've put in place that for a moment there in that meditation, I released physical boundaries, bearing in mind that all physicality, all manifestation, all matter, material of us and everything on this planet is made of energy anyway. It's made of energy. It's just energy vibrating and oscillating so fast that it appears solid, but it's not. It's just energy. So have we constrained and contained our idea of what 3D is, of what physicality is? And through that constraint, have we limited the amount of energy that has been able to, or the amount of source consciousness, or the amount of love or infinite potentials, however you want to look at it, that has been coming into the physical vessel? We've limited that. And what would happen if we could start exploring the physicality of the energetics on this planet? Perhaps we're going to discover that we have more refined senses than just our sixth and seventh sense. And I've talked about this, we all know what the sixth sense, I've talked about the seventh sense many times on this channel. It's the void. It's our seventh sense is the void, because we are the void, we are the infinite potential. And if we are the infinite potential, if we are the void, if that is our seventh sense, then the seventh sense is also physicality, because that's what we are. And so that must mean the void has a aspect to it which is physical, which is in direct alignment to us incarnated and as manifest and incarnated as physical beings upon this planet, basically. So I think there's a road to enlightenment where we can just feel our way in, feel the physicality of our way in. And it was really, really simple, because it was just, you know, I think we have this concept, I was, you know, feeling the energy of the void, and we have all these attachments to what that means. And we think that the energy is invisible and it's kind of unattainable, and we sort of get glimpses of it, and it does this, and it's various colors, and it moves and oscillates in different ways. But what happened to me in that meditation was that I suddenly felt that energy in a really physical, tangible, not solid is the wrong word, but in a really tangible way. And the minute I felt that, I felt myself in a more tangible way. And then my whole body opened up to receive this energy. It just opened up, because it was, I guess, it was a match. It was a resonant frequency match. I felt the physicality of it. I knew physicality because I'm in a physical body. And so it made kind of sense to me. And I just opened up, and this like energy came like rushing in and did its thing to me, which also felt physical, that wash of hot water. So what I'm trying to say is I think maybe this is how we become more embodied. I doubt very much it's the limit of how embodied we can become, but maybe there's a new way. Maybe this is the way. Maybe it's becoming simpler and easier for us as we co-creatively evolve. That's what we're all doing. And I'm sure this experience happened to me because it's happened to somebody else, and it's happened to somebody else, or loads of other people, or maybe, I doubt it, but maybe I'm the first one, and so someone else will feel it. Because the thing is, it's like 100th monkey syndrome. We are an empathic collective species. So as each individual involves, as they all do their inner work, they are assisting the whole to evolve. And I've just got this feeling that our physicality is going to evolve beyond the 3D in a way that we don't yet understand. I can't really put words to, because I'm trying to describe to you an epiphany, which is difficult to describe, because unless you were there feeling it, you don't really know what I'm talking about. So I hope I'm making sense. But anyway, I just really wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to encourage you, go and do Joe Dispenza's Blessing of the Energy Center. If you want to do my version, it's on my channel. There's one to music, and I think there's one without music. And as you go into the void, be holding the intention to feel the physicality of that, and how it would feel if you could open yourself to that physical sensation, that felt sense that this energy is a visceral, real thing on this plane, maybe not in a 3D sense, but in a very physical sense, and that it is a match to us. And of course it's going to be a match to us. We are made in God's image. So I wanted to share that. I hope it's been helpful. Let me know if you try it and what happens to you. And yeah, I don't know, I really just wanted to share all of that, so I hope it made sense. And I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you again soon.